Hey everybody, it's Mike with Ongoing Restoration. I hope you're doing well. In this video, I wanted to briefly review the movie The Oath that's playing right now, I believe, in quite a few movie theaters around the country. There was three things, possibly four. There was a lot of things that I enjoyed about this movie. Three things that I wanted to touch on, and if I have a few more minutes, I'll probably add another item or two. The acting, that really sold the story of Moroni as the last surviving Nephite and prophet of his people. He was a military general whom his father had named after the Captain Moroni that we know of from the war chapters in Alma. Moroni was the sole surviving Nephite in the movie, and that being kind of the scenario here was very isolating, where he was keeping himself throughout the film, yet they still made it feel very much like a Nephite versus Lamanite conflict had existed. So I appreciated that. It took me right to that spot in the Book of Mormon at the end, where he's giving us his perspective and his epistles. In the movie, they have him being hunted and chased by a group of Lamanites that are headed by a man who was a Nephite by birth named King Aaron, and just an incredible job by all the actors and actresses. I just loved it. It wasn't cheesy at all. The second thing that I enjoyed from this movie was that the props were freaking awesome. Now, I took my family to see this movie, and my kids, they loved seeing the gold plates that Moroni had to heft around, especially my oldest son. He just really enjoyed getting to see that, have that visual. And in the movie, Moroni has this parchment that he's carrying along with a few other items like the Sword of Laban. And this parchment was really interesting to see. I loved how the camera angles had cut to this parchment as he's kind of referencing that when talking about in the movie, not to give too much of it away, but I mean, if you've read the Book of Mormon, you should know kind of how the story goes. But Moroni is teaching a Lamanite about just the history, and of course he's got the records, so he has the history. And on this piece of parchment, he has it's like a rendering or a drawing that tells the story of Joseph and his lineage as described in the book of Genesis, coming over the wall as the vine, and then above it were figures and their names to identify each of the records he was abridging as he was finishing up this record that he had compiled. It brought all those things to life. You know, we talk about certain relics like the Liahona, the Sword of Laban, the Urim and Thummim, and all that other stuff. You got to see some of those items in this movie, and so that was really cool. Thirdly, how often do you feel the Spirit watching a movie? Now, I definitely felt it watching this movie. It helped bring the reality to the words in the Book of Mormon. To be able to see the emotions that Moroni carried with him in this movie was incredible. There were great principles and lessons that were taught about forgiveness, loving and accepting others no matter what background we all have, and how to be a better husband and father. One last item, really the meat and potatoes of this, just at the center of all of it. I have to say that it motivated me to go back and read the Book of Mormon, to look deeper for lessons, principles, and meanings in the writings of the Book of Mormon. Moroni's conviction was to the Savior, Jesus Christ, and this book testifies of Christ and the kind of peace we can enjoy in our life with a relationship with our Savior. Y'all, you have got to see this movie. Go to the website. There's a link in the description below. Type in your zip code, your city's name, whatever, and it should show you what theater is playing this movie. It was a limited time, and I was just thrilled that I got to stay in my hometown to be able to watch this movie. I didn't have to go into Nashville or, drive too far. It was just like a 5-minute drive, so it was awesome. They're only showing it for a limited time. Go see it. Go online, buy your tickets, take your family, take your friends, tell everybody about it. I actually told a few people that aren't members about it. They asked about, what my plans were, how my weekend had gone, and I said, yeah, I took my family to go see a movie, or I'm taking my family to go see a movie, and told them all about it, which it wasn't awkward. I didn't feel like I was preaching to anybody. Yeah, I'm going to see this movie. It's a pre-Columbian movie about this guy who's being hunted by this group of. Just go see this movie. You're going to love it. I loved it, and it brought me closer to my Savior. It brought me closer to the Book of Mormon, and I'm so grateful for that. All right, y'all take it easy, and I'll catch you later.